Yo, what's going on, guys? Gonna be uploading a video today. Just gonna go over market conditions and what we ended up doing today, and how we had an A plus setup. I already have it drawn in here for you guys. We're gonna be going over this A plus setup. I actually wasn't able to take it because I was in my. I don't even want to say the word, but I was in my. I was in my job, right? I was in my job today, so I was working. Sadly, I was not able to be on the charts for this. I did end up full porting CPI though, and I got an account, a lucid eval to like 2200 or something. Got cooked with my fill, so it is what it is. But who cares? I'll pass it on the next trade. Boom, boom, boom. I can't go back. I'm not going to use the replay because I don't have. I'm gonna have it. Don't worry. The recaps and stuff are gonna have the replay mode again, so I can go over price action properly. But cool. Ignore these two bullish candle, or this bullish candle and this bearish candle. Ignore these two. But coming into the day, what was I looking at? Realistically speaking, we were overextended on the higher time frame now. Even though we are in like kind of a clear, that's the wrong way around. Kind of a clear market maker sell model in a sense here. We're rejecting off a key level. I'm pretty sure it's a daily for value gap. Or no, it's not. What are we rejecting off? No, nothing really, but it's whatever. We are looking pretty bearish in a sense on the higher time frame here, because we are displacing through 4-hour gaps. We are shitting on all these lows, and we are just heavily displacing through key levels here, right? But coming into before market open, what we were inside of was this 4-hour right here. So inside of this 4-hour and below us on the higher time frame, what do we have? We have these draws down here. But like, let's look at these draws for a second. They're all high resistance liquidity. This is inside of a fully filled 1-hour gap. This is inside of a 1-hour gap, and then this is a good like 1,000 points away, right? So for us to even like think of about delivering down to those lows, the market it doesn't just move like this. Like the market just doesn't go like this, you know. It doesn't just go down, right? There's retraces, right? We have to have retraces because that's how we move, right? That's how the market moves. It moves off of retraces and then displacement out of key levels, blah blah blah, whatever, right? So we're overextended here, and final draw for today, because we are rejecting off this 4-hour as well, especially. So we would have to inverse this 4-hour and then just come down and take out all these draws on liquidity without having anything significant happen like a retrace to actually provide us with the momentum to move down there, right? So that just doesn't make sense. Like, why would we do that without having a retrace? So I'm pretty sure the agreed upon DOL today was definitely this unfilled 4-hour up here, right? And why was this the agreed upon DOL? Again, I just went over why it would be, and there's also a lot more reasons, like what we had leading up to it, right? So we had Asia session liquidity, we had CPI, so we had data highs, Asia session liquidity, so which is a low resistance as well, by the way. This is not inside of anything significant, so this is something that we definitely want to take, and CPI just generated more liquidity towards that draw for us to end up taking in the end. And we also had New York PM session highs, which was right below this 4-hour too, right? So this is just like we have a bunch of liquidity above supporting our move higher to this unmitigated 4-hour, with us rejecting off this current 4-hour and all of the lows below us being high resistant lows, and that would need something a lot more significant than just nothing, just fucking move down. Like, that's just silly. Come on. This was definitely the agreed upon DOL, in my opinion anyway, for sure. Cool. So coming into market open, let's see what we do. This is so textbook, because like obviously when we're looking at the market, like how does the market move? AMD, right? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And what did we do before? Right before market open, we started to generate some liquidity. So we started to accumulate here, and then market opened slightly higher. But like the thing is, people will look at this and they'll say this is a 930 bearish PO3, right? You're not technically wrong, but why is this not a valid like shorts from here are completely invalid in my opinion, because you are just, your targets are lacking. Like, you're targeting high resistance down here, and the only thing we reject off is what? This 5-minute on market open. Do you really want to see a 930 PO3 sweep out absolutely nothing significant and reject off of a simple 5-minute and then salam lower? Did this end up playing out if you took it? Yeah, sure. But is this a trade that I would take? Definitely not. There's just no like good targets. I guess there's a bit of LR here, but it's just pretty mid. And this wasn't, in my opinion anyway, this is definitely not a bearish 930 PO3. If anything, this is just us generating more liquidity at 930. So we generate liquidity here, and then the real manipulation move happens right after that, where we end up coming lower here, and then we sweep out significant draws inside of a gap, and we run a stop. So we have a stop hunt, we resweep out lows inside of a fair value gap, and then after that we get instantaneous displacement to the upside, and we just absolutely salam all the draws above us, right? So coming in with this is exactly what happened here. This is like a very, very A plus setup. It's pretty simple. 930 accumulated, ended up generating some more liquidity here inside this 5 minute, ended up slamming lower and manipulating out these lows. So this low inside of this gap, which is inside of a 4 hour, and it's also inside of a 15 minute down here. This is a super, super discounted long. Well, not super, super, but it's a very, very nice discount, because not only are we reacting off of this 4 hour, we're also reacting off another higher time frame significant gap inside of the 4 hour too. And we had a stop hunt as well, because this is technically this is apologies. This is a higher time frame stop hunt, because it's like a 15, or this is like an hourly low that we sweep inside of this 4 hour, and we get instantaneous displacement to the upside off of this. So pretty simple stuff. It doesn't matter where you really took this trade. If you took it here on this first original 1 minute, I don't know why my trading view chart is. Can you stop? Excuse me. Thank you. I don't know why my original trading view chart, or why my trading view chart is like has a bugged out candle, but it's whatever. And yeah, there were two obvious targets you could have targeted here. That would be in the 930, the generated liquidity that we did at 930, and obviously Asia session highs here as well was the definite like catalyst for this trade in particular. So if you took it off the original 1 minute, cool. Or if you even took the CISD as well right after. So we had a 1 minute inversion, then a 1 minute CISD back to back. Both entries are completely fine and great setups. Both deliver more than a 1-to-1. Just like really, really, really clean stuff. Excellent trade. And yeah, that's basically it. And why was this setup A plus? Let's grab it. Where'd it go? Oh, somewhere here. Here we go. Cool. Get over here. Cool. Bang. So why was this setup A plus? We had an agreed upon DOL with our daily buys being bullish until the 4 hour, because that's what we'd want to see. There's no way we'd just dump off of nothing. Like, we'd want to see a retracement to the 4 hour, right? Which we did end up hitting, and now we're displacing out of. So agreed upon DOL. We had a bullish bias up to this 4 hour. We had a bunch of liquidity above us as well that we would love to take out. CPI even generated more liquidity for us to take. Did we have a key level? Yes, we did. What were our key level? We had a 4 hour and a 15 minute. So we had a 4 hour, and then inside that 4 hour, we had an even more discounted 15 minute. So it was a really good discounted trade as well. So we're in a discount. Did we have a stop hunt? Yes, we did. We had a higher time frame stop hunt inside this gap. Because what is a stop hunt? A stop hunt is just like realistically a sweep of liquidity, but it's inside of a gap. So when we sweep a low inside of a gap, that is a stop hunt. We also technically had a little baby stop hunt here as well on the 30 minute. When we poked in this low, had a tiny retrace. Like, I don't even know where the candle's just bugging, so it's not showing it, but we had a tiny retrace here. As you can see by this wick, and then we had another little sweep lower, and then we had that V-shaped recovery out of this fair value gap. So technically two stop hunts, but this stop hunt hella mid, not a good one. This is the clear stop hunt here, the low inside of this gap that we sweep out here. We had a 930 PO3, so this is time and price. You're in a time discount and a price discount, and we had strong displacement through a fair value gap, the highest time frame fair value gap within this manipulation, like, which we absolutely did. No hesitation with this fair value gap whatsoever. Not a single sign saying that we want to move lower here and we want to respect this. This was just pure. I can't even say that because I'm gonna get well, I don't know. I'm gonna get in trouble maybe, but I'm not gonna say that. But like, holy, we absolutely slammed this gap. No hesitation whatsoever. Just instantaneous displacement. And then yeah, your final draw, like if you took take profit at the 930 generation liquidity highs here, it delivered in two candles, right? It delivered in 2 minutes. Look at these candles. And then if you targeted Asia, it delivered in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 minutes. So 5 candles, bang, right to Asia. Easy sweep of Asia. Like it's so A plus. It's such a good trade. Great narrative behind it. Great time as well. Like you're looking at the narrative with time as well. Just um, boom, 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 boom. Beautiful stuff. Really, really clean. Great setup. And now, what other setups did we have today? We had this 5 minute short. Now this 5 minute short, it's not that bad, but it also is bad at the same time. If you took this, I can understand why, but I can also not really, because the thing is, right? Sure, we took out a bunch of liquidity, and we are technically rejecting out of a key level, being this boom, this 30-minute fair value gap here, right? But it's just like the thing is, we are literally like less than 20 points, I would say. Yeah, we're like bang on 20 points away from taking out New York PM session highs and also tapping that 4 hour, which is the 100% the agreed upon DOL in this case, because we'd want to see this get tapped if we want to come down and inverse this 4 hour and take out these high resistant lows. We'd want to see this kind of manipulation into this 4 hour fair value gap. Even something deeper would have been low key preferred, but obviously this is completely fine. It still is a tap on 4 hours, so from here it's fine. But yeah, so that's obviously the main thing wrong is 100% this, that we edged this 4 hour and we ended up not sweeping out these highs, which is what we did do right after. Um, and it's also your targets. Like your targets for this trade just aren't that good. Yes, we did have a decent narrative behind it. So like I'm not gonna shit on this trade to be honest, because it wasn't actually that bad, but it was really bad because of this. It was bad because of this, because we edged this 4 hour. That was the main reason why it was bad. But um I'll go over some reasons why it was decent. Because if we look here, 930 obviously manipulated lower, blah blah blah, and we took out a draw. Then we ended up accumulating here, and let me get this out the way so you can see the time. And then what did we do at 10 a.m.? Nothing, right? We didn't do anything. But is that always a bad thing? No, not really. Because what can 10 a.m. do? Just like 9:30 can in some case. Well, 9:30 never really, but 10 a.m. generates liquidity here. So we generate like this accumulation zone here, and we put in low resistant lows all right here. Right, so we have 10 a.m. starts generating liquidity, and then what does 10:30 do? 10:30 has this aggressive move higher, and it sweeps out all of this liquidity. So we have a 10 a.m. accumulation, 10:30 PO3, and then what do we have? Instantaneous displacement through this 5 minute gap, right? So this isn't really that bad. Like it's the trade makes sense to take. It has a good narrative, but the only way it would have really made sense to take and actually been a really valid trade, in my opinion, is if we hit this 4 hour. If we hit this 4 hour and then did that with the 10:30 PO3, 10 a.m. accumulation, low resistance liquidity, that just would have been amazing, because then at that case we would have had even more low resistance to target, so more. And also we inverse the 5 minute. But would I have taken that realistically? No, because in a case like this, for us, or for myself, in my opinion anyway, for us to be proven bearish, if we did end up doing this, and I also believe for sure that this would have been better to look at it like this in this situation too, is when we open up this bearish 5 minute right here. We open up these two bearish 5 minutes, right? After inversing. So after I see that, I'd be like, okay, cool. If we want to be bearish here, I highly doubt we will be, but if we are going to be bearish here, what I would like to see is for us to retrace into this 5 minute and then displace out of the highest time frame for a value gap in the manipulation, like up to that 5 minute, to sort of back the narrative that we will end up potentially moving lower here. That would have made this trade better. I'd probably rate this trade like C, to be honest. If that did happen though, I'd probably rate it like B, maybe B plus, just because you have actually like a strong narrative behind it. However, if we went to this 4 hour, displaced through a 5 minute, opened up a new 5 minute, tapped into that 5 minute, and then got an inversion out of that 5 minute, I know I just said a lot of 5 minute shit there, but I presume you guys understand what I mean by that. That would have been A plus, like for sure. Would have had a bunch of low resistance liquidity. We now had that higher time frame significant manipulation that you'd want to see for us to move lower. Have a bunch of LR, and we just inversed a bearish 5 minute, and then we opened up a 5 minute, and then what would make that 5 minute that we opened up after that? That would have been a sponsored 5 minute by the 4 hour above. If we ended up retracing into that and inversing out of that, that would have been ideal to take. So for me, if I was even thinking about taking a trade like this, I'd want to see us come up to this 5 minute and then displace through this 3 minute right here. I know you're like saying, oh my god, look, we displaced right here, but that is not valid because at this point we inversed both of these 5 minutes. So that trade idea to take an inversion right here is completely invalid, and not something good at all. That's like a F minus setup. But yeah, so yeah, that's basically it, honestly. Hopefully you guys understood my explanation behind this A plus setup. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast. I think I know I have a bad habit of kind of talking fast and explaining stuff. But again, if you guys have any questions, or actually, first of all, let me guys know if you ended up taking this long today, if you ended up capitalizing off this, or if you ended up taking a loss today, or if you ended up taking a different long, if you trade a different model, please let me know. Shout it down in the comments. I always love to see people talking about what they took and stuff too. It's great to hear. If you have any questions as well, of course, leave them in the comments. If you have any questions that you want to ask me personally, my Discord, Instagram, and TikTok will be in the bio of this video, so you can go check them out. Give me a DM on either of those three platforms, and I will 100% respond, and we can go over some stuff if you want to, of course. And yeah, going to be documenting my entire journey to profitability here, so excited for the journey ahead. My main goal when it comes to trading is obviously, well, financial freedom is great, cool, but I want to get really good to the point where I can teach others how to do the same and bless others and help them change their lives for the better as well. And of course, I just want to be able to bless and give back to everybody around me and just uplift everybody's lives around me, because I know that's what I was put here to do. All right, I know it's my purpose. Just a little talk there about that. Anyway, just to give you guys an idea of what kind of passion I have towards trading. I don't know if that sounds a bit corny or whatever, but I don't really care. That's just what I am when it comes to this. So yeah, I want to get really good to the point where obviously I can be financially free too. That's excellent, and also teach others how to do the same and help them on their journeys. So yeah, excited for the future. Can't wait to be looking back at this in a year's time or however long it takes, and to go over these videos again and see how I became profitable, because all of it's going to be all here on my YouTube channel. YouTube channel, all in proof of my journeys to profitability. So yeah, excited for that. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll catch you guys on Monday, where I'll be uploading another trade recap. I didn't upload a recap yesterday. Apologies. I should have though. I'll excuse, but I had a back surgery yesterday, so that was a bit of a stinker. I was pretty bummed out after the entire day. Pretty lazied out, or you could say droopy out, because I was all like numbed up and stuff, whatever. But so yeah, there was one setup that almost formed yesterday that would have been A plus, it would have been super A plus, but it ended up not happening. So it is what it is. And yeah, have a great weekend, guys. I'll catch you guys on Monday when I'll be uploading another trade recap. Stay blessed. Peace.